All For One is the newest character that's been added to My Hero Ultra Rumble, and it's safe to say that he is the most flexible character in the game. If it's not only for his ability that he can take other people's quirks and use them in whatever way he likes, but if you can match the correct quirk that will match your teammates and your playstyle, you'll be able to absolutely wipe any lobby that you're in. So let's start with his alpha quirk, Final Blow. Final Blow is an attack that allows All For One to shoot out a shockwave towards his enemies. You can either press the trigger and it will shoot a short, fast burst at the enemy that does moderate damage, or you can press and hold the trigger to shoot out one massive shockwave that deals a ton of damage even at lower levels. Some things to keep in mind when you're using Final Blow are that it does high damage even at lower levels. You've got lots of ammo, so you want to keep making sure you have some of that available whenever you can. If you want a long range, fast, low damaging blow, then you just tap the trigger, and if you want a really strong but slow moving powerful blast, you want to press and hold the shoot button. Now onto his beta quirk, which is Manipulative Claw. Manipulative Claw is where All For One releases red tendrils in front of him that deal tick damage to the enemy. If you hold the button for longer, it will stay there for longer, and bear in mind if you jump up in the air, you do stay in the air for the duration of the attack. Some things to bear in mind when you're using it is you are vulnerable when you jump up in the air because you can't move, so make sure that nobody's attacking you from behind. It's a very short range move, so make sure you're close to the enemy when you use it, and also you want to make sure that you're leveling it up throughout the game because that'll mean that it's doing more and more damage the further into the game you're going. Now onto All For One's Gamma quirk, which is called Black Field. So Black Field is when All For One makes a field that pushes enemies out or brings them back in. Now if you want to push an enemy out, all you've got to do is you have to tap the Gamma quirk button and it will push the enemies away. And if you want to bring them back in, you have to press and hold the button, and that will mean that the enemies are then brought back in towards All For One. So when using All For One's Gamma quirk, you need to be aware of its range, because if they're slightly out of the range when you're trying to push them in or push them out, then they won't go anywhere. And also you need to think about how vulnerable you are when you're using it, because enemies can get to you while you're doing it, and they will deal a lot of damage because you can't do anything. That leads us finally onto All For One's special action, Plunder. All For One's special action is undoubtedly the best special action in the game. It allows you to take out a downed enemy and take their quirk set. Now you can use this quirk set at any point in the game, but it does keep the levels that they had when you eliminated them. The one thing I'll say about All For One's special action is that you'll want to pick a quirk that contrasts his playstyle. So because All For One's quite slow, he has no actual movement abilities, you'll want to pick a quirk set of a movement character, something like Ida, Floppy, Uraraka, because then you'll be able to move around the map and switch between his quirk, which does a lot of damage, and that should hopefully help you be more diverse as a character, but also win more games, get more fights, be more confident as the character. And hopefully this video helped you learn a bit more about All For One, learn a bit about his abilities, a little bit how to use him, and a few tips and tricks or things to look out for when you're using each of his moves. I tried to keep it as brief as possible, short as possible, so that you got all the information in sort of one concise chunk, and I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you want to see more character guides or more All For One gameplay, seeing as he's just released, like, subscribe, and we will try and do more of them. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.